got some new glasses. What do you think? My optician tells me that they're special and I'll be able to see more compositions now. We'll see about that. Anyway, I'm kind of out putting it to the test. Oh. Cobweb, so beautiful. I've come out for something a little bit different today. Stay. I've come out for something a little bit different. Of late, my routine has been, I'll be up 2 hours before dawn and I'll have packed my gear and be out the door and on my way to a location to try and be there about half an hour before sunrise. And honestly, I've not had a whole heap of luck. The light has either been all or nothing. Huge bright days where it's just everything gets blown out, you know. Dynamic range is too broad and just can't do it. Just can't do it. The alternative has been those flat grey days, you know, where just there's nothing of any value out there in light terms to capture. It's just been horrible. So I thought I'd mix it up. And today it's now 1 hour and 16 minutes. Ooh, easy. Before sunset. And I'm into the Sherwood Forest National Nature Reserve on a strip of woodland that runs between Sherwood Forest and the heathland. This silver birch here behind me is actually in the heathland, so I'm literally on the margins here. Not quite sure which way I'm going to go, but I have got a couple of head torches, so my intention is to kick about here till after dark. I got startled by some humans. Actually, I was about to startle some humans. I was hiding in the bushes as they were going to walk by with a little dog, so I decided to cut recording, pop out and not give them a shock. And then since then it's been one tribe after another tribe. It's one of the reasons I come first thing in the morning is it tends to be silent. You've got nobody in, and at this time of evening you get the day trippers leaving, so you're kind of crossing everybody's path and it can be quite difficult. But it's getting nice and quiet now. And time wise, less than an hour till sunset, which is great. I'm actually on a part of the meadowland where the longhorn cattle are allowed to come out and graze. It's a fenced in area with a path running through the middle of it. And I think we can still make our way through when the cattle are here, but I tend to not want to disturb them. So I don't mind so much when they're out on the heath because it's all open, whereas in here, it's easy to startle one and create a mini stampede, you know. It's a long while since I've been in here and I forgot how beautiful it is. There's such a mixture of little pockets of heath and these silver birch here, and then you get an ancient oak, and it's just magical, really magical. What am I up to? Silhouettes. Not so much silhouettes as I mentioned in my previous video. Thoughts of next year's calendar and the potential for going black and white. And it's been playing on my mind a little bit because I know I think it was autumn 2019, it was. I was coming out later in the evening and I started to play with dusk. So occasionally when you had a bright day during the daytime, as dusk came, you got these rods of light that just seemed to really beam into the forest floor. I can't explain it. It was just an interesting photographic opportunity, and that's kind of all I remember of it, because I didn't get long to do it before the season changed, and for whatever reason I wasn't out for a while. So it got stopped abruptly, and I never went back to it because of the whole COVID situation. So here I am, thinking about next year's calendar, possibility of going black and white. I'm wanting to mix up my shooting to try and get rid of some of this bright light I've had recently, and I've certainly managed to do that. It's, as I say, less than an hour to sunset, and the sky is just a huge blanket of mixed grey and white fluffy things. So a little bit of colour and contrast, and that's really what I'm here for. Plus, one of the biggest bonuses, but don't tell anybody else, one of the biggest bonuses for coming out at this time in an evening is the wildlife comes out to play. So you get to see an occasional badger and rustles in the undergrowth. Not rustle, but noise. Buzz off. Okay, because I'm going to be losing light, I don't know how the recording is going to go. So what I'll do is, if I find a composition, I'll try and record it. I'll try and let you know what I'm thinking, and we'll see how it works out in post-processing at the end when I'll pop up any shots in a gallery. But it's just ace. It's really, really ace. If you don't get out in an evening, do it. Do it twice. Not at the same time, but look at that leading off into that ancient oak there. Oh man, there's got to be a composition here, hasn't there? Underneath here maybe. Try and get that. Oh, there's all sorts to play with. I think a fly just went up my nose. That's enough of that. Right, I'm going to mooch about, get my head torch out, see what's moving. I've just had two like big umbrellas with motors on the back flying around in circles, really loud as well. There's no way I'd have recorded while they were here. I think they've buzzed off now. It's fast approaching. I've got about half an hour till sunset, and I've been mooching around in this place. Oh, I wish you were here. Oh, it's time. The light at sun up, sunrise, and the light at sunset, dusk, to me always feels different. It always feels, I don't know the word for it, different. This seems to be more pressured because you know the clock's ticking and it's going to disappear. And like equally when the sun comes up, you know that you've only got kind of that hour to 2 hours of potential before it's sun's up in the sky and things are too harsh, you know. But here, just now, the light it's very subtle, it's very soft, but I don't think the GoPro will help here, but as I'm panning around, it's just like the light on these little twigs here. It's absolutely stunning in reality. I know this doesn't help, but it just looks amazing. There's just a gap in the trees, and the last little bit of remaining light is just finding its way onto these beautiful, beautiful twigs from this. Looks like an oak limb. In fact, it looks like it's come off this chap. Probably it has. There's his broken bit, and that's where he lay. And then on trees like this, actually over here, this tree, the contrast between the branches and what light we have, the foliage, and it's so black versus the light of everything else. So much you can draw out of that in post-processing when you flip into black and white, you know. I have no words for this, you know I don't. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I know I go on. It's just really hard for me not to. There's one or two big things flying through the trees now as well. There'll be some owls out looking for mice and voles and bits of McDonald's or whatever else it is they eat these days. Oh, wow, eh? And then it gets a bit blue. We go from this quite warm autumnal colour, this amazing canopy, and it just breaks into autumn, gap in the clouds, and then it turns a bit more blue. Silver birch, bramble rather than fern. Oh, look at him. I'm a little teapot. I'm here till it goes dark now, and I'm going to keep grabbing things that I see. I'm not going to be able to do much justice by explaining my compositions this evening because the light obviously is beyond the old GoPro, but whatever I get, I'll process them and I'll try and make a nice gallery at the end. It's an interesting thing, this is, coming out this time of the evening, and I implore you, if you haven't or you don't, give it a go, because it's a lovely quiet time of day. Everything settles down, the wind's gone, it's just silent. Drips and drops of the rain we've had recently falling on the leaves. My stomach grumbling because I haven't had anything to eat since this morning. Sorry about that. I'm going to have a work on this guy, try and pick some of that light up off the top of his trunk there. Contrast to this black, dark trunk, and test him out from the other side as well, because the canopy's open here. Let's have a quick look. Oh man. Oh my word. There's a definite face in the front of this tree, isn't there? There's an eye there, and an eye there, and a nose there, and a little mouth there. ENTs are us. And if they lived anywhere, boy. Starting to feel a bit claustrophobic. Anyway. Alright folks, I'm going to try and get a few shots took. I'm going to let the sun go down, bang my head torch on, have a mooch about, and then make my way out whilst it's safe. And I'll pop a gallery up now. So, thank you very much for watching. Please take care of one another. And as ever, if you can't be good, just be careful. And then I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now. It's going to be an amazing night in here tonight. Yes, buddy.